Emily Parker had dreamed of becoming a lawyer. She was brilliant, hardworking, and had just received a scholarship to one of the country's best universities. But dreams don't always survive reality. When her father died unexpectedly from a heart attack, the family's savings disappeared overnight. Medical bills swallowed everything they owned. At just 22, Emily gave up college and took a job as a live-in maid at the luxurious Ashford mansion, home to billionaire businessman Richard Ashford, his wife Victoria, and their arrogant son Ethan. She promised herself it would only be temporary. She was wrong. From the very first day, Emily was treated like she wasn't human. Victoria inspected every room with white gloves. "If I find one speck of dust," she would say, "you'll clean the entire house again." Ethan enjoyed making her life miserable. He would deliberately spill coffee on the marble floor moments after she finished mopping. "Oops," he'd laugh. "Clean it again." Richard barely noticed she existed. To him, servants were invisible. Emily swallowed every insult because her younger sister depended on the money she earned. Every night she reminded herself, "Just survive one more day." 6 months later, Richard announced a lavish charity gala. Politicians, celebrities, business leaders, the richest people in the city filled the mansion. Emily and the other staff worked 16 straight hours preparing everything. As the party reached its peak, chaos erupted. Victoria screamed, "My diamond necklace!" The priceless family heirloom had vanished. Security immediately locked every exit. No one was allowed to leave. The head of security searched every employee. When they reached Emily, the necklace was inside her apron pocket. Everyone gasped. Emily stared in disbelief. "I've never seen that necklace before." Victoria slapped her across the face. "Liar." Richard looked at the police officers. "Arrest her." Emily begged through tears. "I didn't steal it." Nobody listened. The newspapers loved the story. Maid steals £1 million diamond. Her face appeared everywhere. She spent 18 months in prison. Her scholarship was cancelled. No employer would hire her. Worst of all, her younger sister dropped out of school because there was no one left to support her. Emily lost everything. Not because she was guilty. Because someone powerful wanted a convenient scapegoat. 2 years later, Emily was finally released. She returned to her tiny flat. Her sister hugged her tightly. "We'll start over." Emily smiled. But inside, something had changed. She no longer wanted sympathy. She wanted the truth. 3 months later, she found it. An anonymous envelope arrived without a return address. Inside was a flash drive. A single note read, "You deserve to know." The security footage from the gala began playing. Emily watched in silence. Then her heart stopped. Ethan Ashford was clearly visible removing the necklace from his mother's bedroom. Minutes later, he secretly slipped it into Emily's apron while she was setting the dining table. Emily watched the video 3 times. Then a 4th. Every second confirmed the same horrifying truth. She had been framed. Emily didn't rush to the police. People like the Ashfords bought justice. Instead, she built a plan. A better one. She spent 2 years studying business online. She worked night shifts. Saved every pound she earned. Eventually, she started a small financial consulting company. Her intelligence attracted investors. Within 5 years, Emily Parker became one of the city's most respected financial analysts. Nobody recognized the quiet Maid anymore. She had changed her appearance, changed her surname, changed her entire life. Only one thing remained the same: her memory. Meanwhile, the Ashford empire was beginning to crack. Richard trusted a mysterious investment company that promised extraordinary returns. What he didn't know: Emily secretly owned it. Everything was legal, every contract genuine. She simply understood his weaknesses better than anyone. His greed, his pride, his arrogance. Slowly, she encouraged him into increasingly risky investments. Richard believed every decision was his own. Months later, the market crashed. Richard lost hundreds of millions. Banks demanded repayment. Investors fled. News channels called it the biggest financial disaster of the decade. Emily watched every headline with quiet satisfaction. Victoria tried selling jewelry to recover their losses. She opened her safe. The famous diamond necklace was gone. In its place, a handwritten note. "Some things feel worse when they're taken from you." Victoria collapsed into tears. Ethan became desperate. His gambling debts mounted. His wealthy friends disappeared. For the first time in his life, nobody answered his calls. Richard organized an emergency meeting with every remaining investor. The boardroom fell silent as the final guest entered. Emily Parker. Elegant black suit. Confident smile. Richard frowned. "I know you." Emily nodded. "You should." Recognition slowly appeared in Victoria's eyes. "No, it can't be." Emily placed a laptop on the table. "I have something I'd like everyone to watch." The security footage from 6 years earlier filled the screen. Every executive watched Ethan plant the necklace inside Emily's apron. No one spoke. The room became painfully quiet. Richard slowly turned toward his son. "You." Ethan couldn't meet his father's eyes. "It was just supposed to be a joke." Emily laughed softly. "A joke? I lost 6 years of my life. My sister lost her education. My father died believing I was a criminal. And you call that a joke?" Richard looked shattered. "What do you want?" Emily leaned forward. "I don't want revenge. I want accountability." She handed copies of the evidence to police officers waiting outside. They entered immediately. Ethan was arrested for perverting the course of justice, fraud, and conspiracy. Further investigations uncovered years of financial crimes within the Ashford Company. Richard and Victoria were also charged. Everything they had built collapsed. 6 months later, Emily reopened the scholarship program she had once lost. This time, she paid for it herself. Every year, dozens of students from struggling families received full financial support. One journalist asked her during an interview, "After everything they did, why didn't you destroy them completely?" Emily smiled. "Because revenge gave me satisfaction. But justice gave me peace." The reporter asked one final question. "Do you forgive them?" Emily looked out of the window before answering. "I don't need to forgive them. I just needed them to face the truth." She walked away without looking back. For years, the Ashfords believed power could erase innocence. They were wrong. Because the strongest revenge isn't hatred,